First question picks up on that theme you just mentioned, Fleur. Is this a rebuild or an opportunity to reinvent? How are you thinking about
look,
that?
if we can stay afloat and survive, and, I have listened to a great podcast a couple of weeks ago, and it was like survive, strive, and thrive. And, the survival was up to the financial controller and HR, and the strive was the CEO and the entrepreneurial and the ideas and the strategic and getting the team involved, and the thrive was the operational. And I really think that I think we've got an opportunity to reimagine ourselves and have a much better product. Definitely.
Rick, how are you leading your senior team, and how are they leading the subsequent teams? Because obviously you are dealing in a sort of a decentralized environment. As you said, you're based in Nelson, you've got teams all over. How are you maintaining that degree of coordination and flow and communication with all of them? And in turn, how are they leading their own teams?
Sure, I'll add to that. I just wouldn't mind adding something to Fleur's comments about taking an opportunity to reset. I think it was Winston Churchill said, never waste a good crisis. And I think this crisis is really going to give a lot of companies who are forward-thinking an opportunity to say, look at things, how do we do things differently? How do we do things better? And so I think those that will be successful, still around 50 to 100 years, will take that opportunity. I have every 2 days at 4 o'clock this afternoon, included myself and my executive team meet by Microsoft Teams, which is a similar system to Zoom, and we spend an hour just talking about all the things that are going on around the place politically and economically, and what's happening around the country.
You mentioned, the difficult situation of having to let people go, which is obviously probably the hardest part of this for many CEOs and leaders. I mean, a difficult process to deal with in any situation, but because particularly in your case, because we know in Queenstown there isn't much else for them to go to. How are you thinking about those roles? Are you suspending them, or are you encouraging those people to come back? Obviously, when you reopen, how are you communicating that message to them?
Yeah, so look, this has probably been the toughest part of what's going on. And as a business, we've got to make some decisions. That survival part is, sometimes making really, really difficult decisions that, I've never been in this situation before. So it has been, a work through, definitely. But a lot of our staff are immigrants on some sort of visa of some sort. And look, within communication with key people within our teams, we've felt that for us, what we're doing is allowing them, because of working with the wage subsidy and the annual leave and things that they're owed, that the sooner that we do this for a majority of them, it gives them an opportunity to make some decisions, because it gives them some cash in their pocket and allows them to take a repatriation flight, move somewhere where there is going to be potentially more work. Auckland, Christchurch, I don't know. We don't know where that is, but we've been working very hard with them. A lot of our North Island sites, we employ a lot of students, as part-timers. And this was, something that we needed to, talk through with them. And look, a lot of them are unsure about what they're doing with their study. Their study is more of a focus than a part-time job. So with them and with all the staff, we've said the moment that we've got an opportunity to understand what this looks like and what volumes we're going to be doing, you will be the first people we call. And, we've had really good feedback from everybody. We haven't had any negatives really around it, because I think everybody's become very realistic, particularly in the hospitality and tourism industry. They can all see it. It's happening in front of our eyes. Queenstown, everyone, it's on the tip of their tongues. It's just a reality. But look, it doesn't make it any easier. And it's been a very difficult, emotional process to go through.
Gareth, some final thoughts from you perhaps about what you're hearing from CEOs that they're liking. This has been a common theme we've heard is that, people have found the whole remote working thing, a lot more successful than they might have otherwise imagined. But anything else that you're detecting from your sessions?
One thing I'd noticed is a lot of them were, prior to this, were a little anti-working from home, especially the fast movers. They weren't big on people working remotely or whatever else. And I think this has been a bit of a disruptor to how we go about business, how we look after our teams, how we function normally. So I think what I'm seeing is leaders are really open to change, to trying something different and just to give it a go. So, I think there was a quote from last week where they said, let your teams dream and let them have a go, because you'll be quite surprised at the results of what they come out of. And we've heard from Fleur, people even outside of the industry that know nothing are giving great suggestions on how you can do business differently or offer products differently. So, it's interesting times.